Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. And no, it is not April. Oops. Your Twillow Talk is backwards, Gerald.
Is that happening? Okay, so what do I do? Let's see.
So I'm Tana Scotland from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. And we are so excited to have our guest today.
That
Thank
better?
you. Yes, perfect. For our Twillow Talk Live with Twillow Lifestyle. Please welcome Gerald from Tarotstache,
Hi.
who is joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me as a guest.
We're thrilled to have you. It's always a pleasure. And I'd like to also introduce my co-host, Jennifer Jakowski. So let's tell them a little bit about y'all. So I'm an intuitive energy healer, Celtic shamanic high priestess. I do stuff. And we are wearing crowns today. I'm just stating the obvious. Jen, why don't you tell us what stuff you do?
Sure. Registered psychotherapist, certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach. And yeah, I work with, oh my goodness, all kinds of stuff.
We do stuff. And Gerald.
I want to hear about Gerald's stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about Gerald's stuff.
I do some stuff. I don't do all the stuff like these two combined. I do a lot of the rest of it. So
There's other stuff.
I try to do the rest of it. I
Perfect.
put the rest of it on little cards and I categorize it.
That's awesome.
Now I'm a tarot reader. I'm a tarot collector. I'm a creative individual. Currently enjoying creating fabric landscapes. I host lots of things on YouTube.
Yes.
Just had a conversation today. It was a laugh and learn about Archangel Azrael.
Oh, he's my boy. Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a channeling contract with Archangel Azrael.
Okay. Did you sign it in blood, or was this just
I don't know. It happened before I came down. I was just told about it after.
Okay.
So I don't know how we signed the deal, but
okay. I can see how what you do is related to that contract.
Yeah.
Actually.
I found out about the contract first, and then I started seeing the dead and all of that stuff. So that came along after.
Yeah. I also like to host lives where the hashtag best chatters show up and talk in chat. And we had great conversation adding to the conversation about Azrael. It was fun.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. We have some of those awesome chatters on here, I believe.
I see that.
Yes. So I think we should say hello to a few people. We have Kindness and Light. Hello, all. Hello.
That is Lisa.
Welcome. Welcome, Lisa. And we have Tarot Talk and Witchery.
That's Zane.
Hello, Zane.
Hello.
Welcome to our show. We have Maruda.
Maruda is like a search engine connected to the internet because she was posting all sorts of wonderful stuff about Azrael. It was great.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Maruda. That's great. And who else have we got? We have Kylie Grieg. Hello, Kylie from Australia. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have you all on today. So as per our usual shtick, well, let's talk about the shtick that's not the usual shtick, because, you know, we have this ongoing thing, the three of us, with the crowns, you know.
Well, we accept that we're royalty.
Yeah. We like to think we are. And so we like to wear crowns because it makes us feel special. So we encourage you guys, if you have crowns at home, go put them on for the show so you can join us. You know, send pictures if you have them. We would love for you to send pictures too. That would be great. And yeah, join us for this show about royalty.
That would make me ridiculously happy if we got people who were taking pictures of themselves and wearing crowns. I mean, like,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Any kind of crown will do, right?
Right. Well, and you ever notice how the crown doesn't that does it just frames up the crown chakra?
It does. Shem loves crowns. Awesome. And then Lisa got
Yes,
one today.
actually got one today.
That's
Put it on.
beautiful.
Nice.
Put it
Let's
on and take a
see
picture.
them.
Send them in. I'm going to pull up Facebook on the other screen here, so that if we cannot see them in the chat in here, I will see them on here. But we've also
Awesome.
got, oh, beautiful.
Ooh,
That is awesome. Look at that.
Oh,
Princess.
wow.
That's in India. They acknowledge that every girl and boy are princes and princesses. Well, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Beautiful. Does that mean
That's awesome.
because we're not little that we can't be princes anymore?
no, I don't agree to that.
That means not at all. That's not what that means.
That is not part of my human design. Thank you.
There we go. And that will bring us to our next topic momentarily.
Yes.
Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. She says hello to Tanis, and she says hello, Gerald, with his crown.
Hello.
Beautiful. Beautiful. She does
Say hi to
counseling.
Jennifer, Lisa. Don't leave
Yes.
me hanging. Don't leave her hanging. I'm a smart
Jennifer. Oh, good. Phew. She says we can retain our royalhood through adulthood.
I like that. Mhm.
Yes.
I'm
Just
glad
don't
to
be
hear
a
that.
snob about it.
No,
you know.
this is fun. It's for fun, right? We
Yes.
want all the happy stuff.
Yeah.
I do have a tutu, by the way. I've told my
See,
tutu
now
story.
that would be a whole other one that we could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready to get on here with the tutu. I was on stage with the tutu. This is the story, folks, but I'm not sure. Oh, your cards are reading backwards. Are they still? I thought they were okay now.
Well, I think.
Oh,
does
that one is
mean-
backwards. That one's
Okay, but
backwards.
I think it's backwards for us.
Oh,
But
is it not backwards for them?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Whatever.
I'm confused.
No, it's backwards on there too.
Hi, Lise.
At least it is on
There you go.
Facebook.
There you go.
Let's see. I'm watching it. My cards are reading backwards. I'm waiting for my other stuff to get caught up.
Oh, why does it seem to be
It-
backwards
it
no
looks
matter
like
which way it is?
No, it looks right. I can read it fine.
But it's still
Maybe I'm backwards.
it still looks like it's backwards on Facebook though. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah. My Facebook is under Twillow Lifestyle for the business one, or you can send me a friend request at Tanis Coughlin. It's Tanis Rose Coughlin on there.
Okay. See, and I like it what Lisa said. Backwards on cards, not in the mind. So
There we go.
maybe I should maybe this is a sign I shouldn't be using the cards this time.
Maybe we could just say it.
This is bizarre. Anyhow.
It is that, but those are backwards for me still.
Yeah.
What are they on?
The way it was last, like before with
That's backwards.
Whenever you switched, it looked like it was. I could read it. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else.
Anyhow, doesn't matter.
Anywho,
I'm not doing them anymore. Now I'm like I'm discombobulated because I can't use my stash tags.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. That's not why we're here.
No, we have other shtick too. We have crowns.
yeah.
They won't let you send pictures. Lisa says they won't let you send pictures.
No.
What won't let you send pictures, hun? On Facebook?
Probably Facebook.
Man,
Okay.
Facebook.
You can probably send them to me individually. I have it open, so we can always fix that up. But we can post them. So if you want to send them to me in the messenger, we can always do that. And then I can share them on there. Because that would be fun.
That would be so much fun. Oh my goodness.
Do it.
Awesome. So Gerald mentioned human design. Hello, Twisted Sushi.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
Hello. Nice to have you all. It's great to see you. And yes, we have our crowns today. We are royalty for the day.
Amen.
And so Jen does human design, and she was telling us before the show that we have a transit that we're coming into. We're changing transits.
We are. Yeah, right now we're in 45, which is the gate of the gatherer. So that kind of gatherer energy. Gene keys, we're looking at that kind of movement between dominance, synergy, and communion. But that one is going to be switching out for us, and we're going to be moving into the next one, 13th, 14th. So we're moving into gate 12, and it's vanity, discrimination, purity, right? And it's this gate of caution, and it's all about speaking from the heart, right? And being very much individually you. And it's, it's this energy that allows us to love and express ourselves through our vulnerability, right? And so when we look at what we're moving out of, it's this need to, when I think about vanity and all of that, it's this need to pretend to be something more than we are in order to try.
You mean like princesses?
It's like royalty.
And being more discriminative in recognizing, where our boundaries lie and what we are and what
Apparently we don't have any.
And purity, right? And the truth of who we are, and the fact that we can love exactly who we are in all that we are at any given moment.
Yes.
And that we can honor that. And if that means that in this moment we are royalty, then so be it. Right?
Yes.
Because it's out of that love, and it's out of that vulnerability of being able to put yourself out there authentically, exactly as you are, right? As opposed to, if we got on here and we were very stuffy, very serious, and very matter of fact, and right, that wouldn't
be us.
Really wouldn't be us. Yeah. This is authentic. Right. And that's really a big piece in this, right? And so the kind of caution here is, again, like, can you allow yourself to be authentic and to come from that place, even if it means that you have to be vulnerable, even if it means that you have to be a little different, even if it means that you're not going to go with the flow and do exactly what everybody else is doing? Can you allow yourself to be truly expressed, right, in this way that is how you truly want to be seen, right? Like, how many times do we put on a mask or put on a front because we want somebody to like us, or we want somebody to approve of us, or we want somebody to whatever, right? But then all of that attention and affection and whatever else isn't authentic, right? It's for a persona, right? And so really this idea of moving into purity and what that looks like, right? And can we truly embrace our authentic, vulnerable selves?
Well, and that's what this show's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm a firm believer that when we are authentically who we are, it takes a lot of strength to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned in the last 15 years or so. It's like, oh, you mean when I ask for help, or I tell people that I'm actually not feeling good or I'm sad, or I need a hug, that's a sign of strength? And the short answer is yes.
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 So
We all concur. Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's scary to do that. So we're transitioning from what to what again?
Yeah. So the gate of the gatherer, right? And this is the energy that it's so interesting, right? Because just looking at it from the perspective of what you're talking about, it's kind of this energy of allowing other people to tap into your resources and sharing them, right? This kind of synergy and communion
Mhm.
to now being in this place of being able to express what you need and
Okay.
to be
Right.
open with that, right? Because the 12th gate it's a throat gate. So it's all about expression and action and,
Mhm.
and so how do we really live this experience
Yes.
of being open and vulnerable?
Mhm. That's great. Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you. I didn't know that. So,
That's very cool.
yeah. Woohoo.
So we usually pick a topic.
Mhm.
And this year we're using The Soul's Journey by James Van Praagh because it has a whole bunch of topics. So let's see what comes out today.
Ooh.
And this is who I keep saying stop to, right? The mascot. She's like kneading in my leg, and I'm like, "Oh, sweetie, please stop."
I wonder if people can see that properly. Oh, it does
I
show
see it as
up.
a mirror.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's correct now. I can see it on Facebook like that. Perfect.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Anyhow,
It's backwards here, but it seems good on Facebook this time.
there you go.
Perfect.
So.
Hello, Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah.
Oh, hi, Deborah.
Hey.
Hello, welcome.
Jennifer.
Hello. And then here we have Bonafide Gail. Hello, Gail.
Hello.
Great
Joining
to see you. We have Pia's Life. Hello, Pia.
I did write it backwards. I would actually show you this, but that says that's going to be backwards. I only did the like and subscribe.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of cards.
Uh-oh.
We need
Oh
one.
my.
We need one.
Let's pick one from there, hey?
No, let's just have them give us just one. Oh, there we go. Oh.
As it flies across the room.
They were insistent on this one. All right. We have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. It really doesn't want to be held. Okay, here we go. Health.
Yes, not. Wow.
I will honor the physical vessel that enriches my soul.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, I was this experience that we've all been sharing the last 3 years has been it's been expanding, in particular of my waistline.
It has had that effect on many.
It has had that effect. It's also in the experience of allowing myself to get distracted, and not be as active as I once was.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I can tell that when my physical being is not feeling good, everything else has to work harder to weigh that out. So
It is true. It is true.
yeah.
So we have this question. I have a great book called Journey of Souls. I wonder if it's by the same person. No, it is not. Journey of Souls is by a Dr. Newton. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Newton. I have it. I have that book. It's a great book. Really good. That one. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Oh, it's really good. He takes, so he's a psychiatrist and he takes his patients into supra consciousness and they talk about past lives and all of that stuff and what it's like to go between the lives. and everybody has like he's done hundreds of them, and they're very similar stories, like in the sense of what it's like between lives.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's quite a good book. It's really good. And we have, what else have we got going on here? We have.
Yep.
We have Estella. Hello, Estella.
Hi,
Thanks for
Estella.
joining us. That's all. It's all that baking, Gerald. You were baking, I guess.
I was trying to bake sourdough bread.
Mm.
Notice I
Nice.
said I was trying. I said, so it's okay.
Yep.
But the problem is with something like sourdough bread, even the bread that doesn't turn out good still makes wonderful toast.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. I have like over 500 decks, so I have very little self-control.
Yeah, I have quite a few now too. I got some new ones this week. Mine aren't tarot. Yours are all tarot, right?
No, they're
variety.
tarot and oracle.
Okay.
So
yeah. Nice. Lisa says something about, I remember the photo of your bread.
Yep.
Oh yes, there we are. Warm bread and butter. Yum.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm just hungry. We're almost dinner time here,
Yeah. So, dang.
Oh, 140.
Hey.
Deborah has 140. How many have you got?
Decks or loaves of bread, or
I think she's thinking decks.
I know.
I haven't counted mine. But
I refuse to actually give an official count. And you only need one if you want to read tarot. You only need one if you want to read oracle. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Oh, absolutely.
You were baking muffins the other day?
Well, Saturday, I baked a double batch of brownies.
Yum. Yeah, she's confirming cards. It's cards she was talking about.
I was only teasing.
It would be a lot of bread.
It'd be a lot.
I like bread, but 140 loaves would be a lot of bread.
Sounds like something Jesus would do at an event.
True.
Something like that.
Here, let's feed everybody. It's like an Italian mother.
Yes,
Here,
true.
eat
Bread.
So
perfect.
So what's the card again?
Health.
Health.
It is health. I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So that's an interesting concept. I've been I've been caught calling it the meat suit. So I know that's probably not the best thing. I think the shrine is probably a better description.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, so often when people, are on the spiritual journey and stuff, there's a lot of bypassing the physical, right? Or denying the need for the physical and all of that. And yet we are mind, body, spirit, right? We're here to have a human experience. And part of that human experience is this.
Yes. Yeah. Indeed.
Well, and I've heard in some Buddhist texts, they do talk about it as a meat suit. That's how it's translated. Yes.
Okay.
Inside the Grass Hut, which is the book that I just recently read, it's actually they talk. One of the lines is I think it's one of the last lines. It's like the meat suit, because that's not where it happens. This is just what it is. So
vessel, I guess, could be another. That's what the guides often use when they're channeling through me, is it's a vessel. So that's kind of cool. I guess that works. So big hello to, we have Sylvia on here.
Hi, Sylvia.
And she was saying perhaps a biosuit. I think that's a nice one too. She was here for our enlightenment evening that I do once a month. That's one of my in-person things.
Nice.
So that's what she's referring to there, the same author. Awesome. Yeah, I have a dragon deck too. I just didn't bring it up that night.
Mm.
And Deborah calls it the glove. And here is a question. Oh, I saw it. Where is it? There it is. What are ways you all show gratitude for your health? That's a great question.
It is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I know my practices might be a little bit different than everybody than yours, because I have my background in spiritual things started from like a very religious kind of perspective, and then it spread out from there. But I do prayer every morning, and I'm thankful for being back in my body, and for my body being able to work for me, and for the health that I have. I actually also come at health from a very spiritual healing perspective,
Mhm.
of being able to heal the body. And I do believe that we often, based on where we're at, can also make the body not feel very good.
Yeah.
And that kind of connection. And so I spend a lot of time in gratitude for what the body does for me.
Mm.
Very much from like the Emoto water. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
I
that.
love that.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great study.
Yeah. But, the way that we even talk about our body very much impacts it.
Yeah.
Right? Just like in that water or the rice or whatever kind of, example you want to use. But,
So maybe we
we
should tell
talk about,
them a little bit about that, just in case they don't know the Emoto water study. So it was
yeah.
Masaru Emoto did a study. He's a Japanese scientist, and he studied water. He took water from a polluted dam, and he split it in two parts. And he froze one part right from the dam, and he took the other part and had a monk pray over it and add a bunch of energy to it with prayer. And then he froze that, and then he looked at them and compared them under a microscope. And the polluted one was like a globular mess under the microscope, and the other one was a beautiful snowflake pattern. And so it was a really impactful study showing the impact that consciousness or thought or words. He took it further too. If you look up the site, there's a whole bunch of different examples of how he changed the structure of the water with word, either saying it or actually even writing it, and having the impact go into the water. So it's a very cool study, guys, if you're interested. But that, I mean, we are 80% water, so that's going to really impact us when we don't talk well about our body, right? And we have that. And I think even if it's that self-talk,
Yeah.
I think
But you
that
can
impacts.
notice it with so many different things. I mean, I think that we negate our own, like, the significance of what it does to us, but like with plants, if you're talking to
Mhm.
them and everything, like the energy, depending on how sensitive we are, like you can walk into a room, and if somebody's yelling, you feel it, and you can feel
You
the
do.
in here, right? And so I think that there is a significance to that. And so how we talk about our body, how we talk about health, right? I mean, if you think about it, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I'm tired, that is a drag of a day,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Versus if you're like, oh yeah, okay, another day, I got this, right? Then you have that ability to get through it. And I think we are very powerful beings in the way that we narrate our lives, and our health is very much impacted by that.
And our health is impacted. Thought, what we think and what we say has a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And I don't know, did I share it here? I shared it somewhere recently, where when I was going through a particularly challenging time, and I was getting some energy massage work done. I was actually writing on my feet clear messages for myself. I was also writing it on my glass of water because I drink a lot of water. So it's one of those things that it's like, what message would you like to send to yourself?
Yeah.
And and that's so true, Jennifer. I mean, and I first heard about the hidden messages in water back when What the Bleep Do We Know came out. So that's the first introduction I had to it. I love it. Jennifer's got that smile on her face. She's like, yep, I know that one.
So this was something I did in one of my workshops related to this particular study. This is, it was an abundance workshop. And so this is the snowflake pattern from the energy of prosperity. And so what we did with that, we gave everybody one of those and for your water bottle.
Nice.
With an elastic. And it has another symbol in there as well. I do an energy healing modality called the aqualite, which heals the water in the body. It can also heal bodies of water. So there's also a symbol in behind and in the back of that that also brings that up. So something to think about. You can put it on your water bottle like that as well.
Well, and think about also, we many people pray, they say grace before they eat. And most of those are thanking the people who have helped to bring that food to the table, including the animals, the farmers, and the people who have prepared it. So it's a very cross time and energy sort of approach.
Absolutely.
Well, and it's interesting too. I never thought about it, but just seeing the thing that you did with the prosperity one, and it's interesting because in sacred geometry, it's reminiscent of the fruit of life, right?
Yeah.
With the way that the circles on the end lay out. Yeah. And so, and fruit of life, prosperity. Like it's so neat to see all of those connections and
And I also, as I think about, how I honor the health of my, my body, the shrine, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to go on a complete cleanse and I'm not going to eat anything for 28 days. It's not that at all. It's the small things that add up.
Right. Yeah.
And
those
I think
small changes can really make a difference.
they make a huge difference, as well as the idea of, if I wake up and I feel, oh crap, if I say that, and then I go, well, okay, and I'm choosing to do this about that. That's how I'm going to be nice to myself.
Yeah.
I didn't get enough sleep. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to slow down.
Yeah.
Have a nap.
Have a nap. I
stuff.
think those are great ways to do that.
Yeah. Well, and it's that being authentic with where we're at any given moment and what we need in that moment, right? And what the body needs in that moment.
Well, and that brings us to being present in the moment because we're tapping into what the body needs, right? So like sitting and saying, okay, what does my body need right now? What is it? Am I feeling thirsty? Am I feeling sore? Do I need to move? Do I need to stretch? Am I hungry? Do I need a snack? What do I need to do? Right?
Yeah. Well, and it's really interesting too, when you think about it from again, bringing it back to a human design perspective, each type, each authority has its own way of dealing with food. Right. And then in the personal health system, there's also certain conditions or types of food that are better for us to have, or that our body is more able to digest. And so depending on what our design is, what works for one person doesn't work for another, which is why there's so many kind of remedies out there and they don't all work for everybody. Right. Because we are also uniquely ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one is not better than the other. It's just the one that works for you right now and correct me if I'm wrong, you two, is as I grow and evolve and I spiritually expand myself, I don't know if this is a human design thing. I am evolving. I am different now than what I was when we started this live 35 minutes ago.
Yeah. We
And
learn like that, right?
yeah,
And every time we learn, we change.
and that's paying attention to that is really very important.
Mhm.
Well, let me rephrase that. I want to make it less, less work. When we notice these things, it helps to guide us.
Mhm.
It does.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Lisa says, yes, Gerald, I catch myself changing my thoughts from negative to positive.
Mhm.
And that's the awareness. That's becoming awake, right? That's that learning, tuning into ourselves to understand us. Mhm.
And the more we tune in, the more we realize how much of, our health patterns are not even necessarily what is correct for us or what feels right for us, but what we've been conditioned to do or what people around us say.
Yeah, definitely. And we everybody's, I'm thinking of like bullying and stuff in school too, right?
Mhm.
Judgment. And when you talk about what our environment has programmed us with,
Yeah.
yes.
that's another big one
Yeah.
that affects how we see ourselves and how we deal with our
Mhm.
bodies. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and I like to do for me, I try to go for well baby visits. I go regularly to my doctor because and I laughingly call them well baby visits,
Mhm.
and that's exactly what it is. And it's like, okay,
Mhm.
there we go. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. So
uh,
I've noticed the
Yes.
times I've prayed, I felt much fuller and satisfied. Until now, I didn't even think of bringing light down into my food before eating. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
mhm,
Well, when you pray, you are bringing light down. That's kind of part of that process, I think, at least for me anyway.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm. And judging ourselves by society standards. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that self-criticism thing too, right? Like we talk
Mhm.
about health and we're talking about the body because the was about like, the
Health and
enshrines you,
body,
the suit and all that.
physical. Yeah.
But health is everything,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
It is
just
the mind,
physical.
the body, and the spirit, and they are so interconnected. And, we often can get caught up in one area of it and neglect another area of it, right? So how do we find balance, right? How do we
Mhm.
make sure that when we are nurturing the self, that it is mind, body, and spirit?
It's true.
yes,
And
very
that's, I always say, if someone's got something coming up for them, like an issue or whatever, right? Like I'm not one of those practitioners that's going to say, don't go to a doctor. I'm like, you go to a doctor for your physical stuff. You go to a counselor like Jen for your mental, emotional stuff. And then you go to an energy healer for the energy piece or the spirit part, right? Because for me, they're very similar, right? Different words, similar
It's a
feeling.
very holistic approach. When we take
Yeah.
care of things at multiple levels, the likelihood that they will be successful, I believe, increases. It's like
Yeah.
when we're working spiritually with a group of people, and suddenly we all get in sync and we're feeling a similar message, and each of us has a different energy around it, and you combine those energies in a safe and loving and caring way,
Mhm.
it manifests it tenfold,
Yeah,
easily.
Yes.
definitely.
Easily.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, we can't work on anything in isolation and expect it to work and to stick and to stay. Like even working in mental health with my clients, like there's a reason why my business is my holistic self,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm going to say, okay, yeah, we're going to talk about this stuff, but we're going to do some somatic stuff and we're going to do some energy work and we're going to do all of this because it's all so interconnected. We can't address just one aspect of a person and think that that's going to impact it in any lasting way.
Well, and some people, because tarot or oracle is an important part of that process, with, being holistic and caring for their holistic self. Bringing that energy in helps to make it relatable
Mm-hmm.
for people.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I have clients that, have been struggling with different things and they start to pull cards for themselves. And it's like daily guidance. And it's like, yes, this is, if this is what resonates for you, you have to be bringing this into your practice as part of your daily health ritual.
Mhm. Exactly.
And I love how you called it a practice,
It is.
because that's what it is. And what is it? You practice like you play, that idea in sports. I played 2 summers of sports, so I'm not a sports expert, never. But it's like you have to practice the way you're going to play,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you just show up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, yeah.
This is an option, a good option for if you're having a daily practice of healing. It has a fair number of like sort of the physical healing cards in it, like it has like laughter's the best medicine, listen to your intuitive feelings, detoxification, organic foods, hydration. So it has a lot of like the physical stuff as well as the other areas. It's also got things like acceptance
Yeah.
and alternative medicine, forgiveness heals. So this is a really nice overall deck for all of those things. It's one that I use for the physical stuff for sure. And then there's Michelle has a self-care deck, I guess, that she looks stuff up in.
Mm-hmm.
And then there might be one like this, which is I have a couple of decks here too.
Tanis is just going to start pulling out the decks.
I am apparently
Well,
healing mantras too, which has like mantras all about healing. Some of them physical, some of them mentally emotional.
And yeah, and like just with some of the comments here too that have been going through, like bring to be holistic in general with our lives. What it'd be great, yes, if the medical world actually embraced that, but that's why we have to bring that in for ourselves, right?
Be your own advocate.
And so, yeah, and bringing in again that mind, body, and spirit, right? Like, yeah, the mental health piece. And I think like you were saying with the mantras and stuff, which is what kind of brought me back to it, is at some point we were talking about like that inner critic and those negative thoughts and things like that, and having mantras and things that really resonate for us that we can focus on can help us to work through some of those intrusive thoughts and stuff like that. They're intrusive. That's why they're there. They're not something that we go, oh, let me think about this horrible negative thing, right?
Yeah.
It comes in and it sometimes completely takes us off guard because we're like, whoa, what on earth? Where did that thought just come from?
Yeah.
And if we have mantras or prayers or things that really resonate for us, to be able to go to them and to know that we have them in our tool belt can really help us in the moment to be able to navigate, and that's where practice, like you were saying, Gerald, comes in to play. And I talk about this with clients all of the time, right? Don't practice breathing when you're really, really stressed out.
Yeah.
You might not even think to breathe in that moment, right? We want to practice our mindfulness. We want to practice the breathing. We want to practice these things that are going to calm the nervous system and bring us back into alignment when we are okay. So that when we are in those moments, we can go, oh, I know I can do this. Okay, bring the body back. Okay, right? And we go to those things because they've just become a part of our routines.
Yeah, for sure. And absolutely, Maruda, mental health is just as necessary. It's all combined, for sure. And Lisa says, yes, I combine my health solutions. Must have medications combined with finding inner peace, for sure. Yeah.
Well, and I think I can tell from how I'm feeling and how my body looks, that is an indication of my mental and spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's not, I think I would say that it could be, not necessarily always. Because
yeah,
I think from my experience, I could be like really focused on all the mental health stuff and the spiritual energetic stuff, and sort of that's where you have that unbalanced thing, right? I know that I have to force myself to do like the physical stuff because that's just because I do this energy stuff for a living, right? So I'm always like focused on that piece. So in order for me to do the other stuff, I have to make sure that I'm being conscious about doing them. So I think there's times, when we forget to, and because we're so caught up in the others, So
yeah. And I think,
Well, I know.
you first.
No, go ahead.
You.
Okay, I was agreeing with you in the sense that like I noticed that if I am not as intentional about my practices,
Yep.
that I can be more irritable, or that I notice the narratives change a bit, right? And I go, oh, there's some of those old patterns. Okay, like I really need to be intentional about what I want in my experience and come back to that, and I think that sometimes we aren't always as intentional, especially when we're busy and we're doing a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And so like Gerald was
Exactly.
saying, being able to notice those changes in the physical, in the mental, all of that, are all signs for us. And they're constantly telling us, hey, are you heading where you want to go? Are you doing what you want to be doing?
Yeah, we're definitely bombarded on a daily basis, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I like that idea of mantras, and this may sound weird, and I'm going to say it anyhow, but repeating a mantra, again, it's like with any practice that you repeat, it gains energy the more you do it.
Yeah.
And so I can see using a mantra is like when you chew your food properly, your body is able to use that energy at a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's true.
yeah. Man, we're all suddenly deep. It's the crowns.
It's the weight of the responsibility of being royalty.
Yeah.
Well, and yes, it's also that balance of what all things in moderation, including moderation.
Yes.
It's just like, do I want a brownie or do I want an entire plate of brownies?
That depends on the day.
It does depend.
Will I be happy that I had this entire plate later?
Probably not, but at the time, it depends on the day.
Hands up if you've ever had that happen.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
To Maruta's comment, though, like vagus nerve stuff is so important, right? And that's where a lot of the physical kind of stuff comes in, right? Because if we're in constant reactivity mode, it's really hard to be in social engagement mode, right? And so having different tools, whether it's the breathing exercise, the basic exercise, doing, some of the tapping stuff, like any of those different kinds of things can really help get us back into that ventral vagal state and back into social engagement. And to try to resolve anything when you're activated, it's like, don't even go there, right? Take that time, do those exercises, do those practices, and give yourself an opportunity to ground again, for sure.
Have you seen the vagus nerve exercise that Jen does, Gerald?
No,
maybe you should do that.
I was going to ask, could you explain for those uninitiated, could you share with us from a for entertainment purposes only way exactly what the vagus nerve is? Because I saw that and I went like, so we don't talk about whatever happens with the vagus nerve
because it's Vegas. What stays in Vegas?
Yeah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So we don't talk about the vagus nerve.
Seriously, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So why don't
Yeah.
you give that little overview, and then we can give that
If you pull up a picture of it, it's pretty incredible. But it is a nerve that goes through, and it is on many different parts of our brain, and it goes all the way down. And it is basically the nerve that sends information throughout our whole body.
Okay.
Right. And so when we talk about like fight, flight, freeze, fawn, like those kinds of responses, that's all vagus nerve reactivity happening. Right. And it's shutting down different systems, turning on other ones, all of that kind of stuff. And so what happens is when I talk about a ventral vagal state or a social engagement state, like that's when we're chill. We're able to think things through logically. We can understand that our emotions are happening, but we're able to really kind of balance all of that. Right? Versus if we get into a activated state, so we're in that fight. There you go. Yeah.
the vagus nerve state.
And we can get into, that fight or flight part where we're going to be really reactive. We're not thinking logically anymore. Certain systems are shutting down, so we're not as receptive. Or a dorsal vagal state where we're completely shutting down. We're in that freeze state, right? We're not able to do anything. We're done. And so what happens is if we're in any of those states, we have a tendency to stay there because let's say, the gastric system is one of the first ones to kind of get shut down, right? And so now we're having, irritable bowel syndrome, or we're having digestive issues, we don't feel good, all of that kind of stuff starts to happen. And then we think, oh, there's something wrong with me. And then we want to go and, deal with the symptom of it when really we're not in that aligned place. Right. And so doing practices to bring us back into alignment, to feel more grounded, to be able to connect again, that's where we can start to really co-regulate with people and things like that, because we're in that place of connection again. Right. And so when I talk about things like the basic exercise or the breathing or stuff like that, that's what it's about. It's about bringing us back into that place.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Do you want to do the basic exercise?
Sure. I'm just going to go through it really quickly for everybody, but basically, and so where it's from, just so that everybody knows, it is from here, accessing the healing power of the vagus nerve. And it's Dr. Stanley Rosenberg, who has the Rosenberg Institute, and does all kinds of neuroscience stuff. But basically, it's you cross your fingers over, put them behind your head, lean back, and keeping your head as straight as you can. You move your eyes to the right as much as is comfortable, right? If you've got issues with doing this, there's other activities you can do. But you just look to the right until you get a yawn, a swallow, or a sigh. And depending on how regulated your body is, that might take a while or it might happen fairly quickly. And then once you have that, you come back to center and then you move your eyes to the left. And again, you're going to wait until you get a yawn, a swallow, or a sigh.
Me, it's always a yawn.
Right? And then the important with this is you actually will be able to feel, if you're sensitive, your blood pressure going down. So you might get a little lightheaded. So it is important to be very slow with the process once you've come back from doing the exercise. Take your time, sit up slowly, give yourself the ability to really kind of regulate in that place. And away you go.
Sweep the energy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There you go. Fan it on away.
Wow.
Awesome.
So
we've had a few comments here. We are all old souls. We are indeed. It's Jew. She is struggling with sugar lately. This was during our brownies conversation.
Oh, no.
Deborah doesn't like brownies.
It's okay.
Oh, my.
There's lots of other
for us.
sweets. We have the other hand. She's been using her exercise machine daily. Good job.
Good.
That's awesome. Oh, she loves butter cookies, though. Yeah, we're scared in when we're in shock. That's the vagus nerve thing. We can put that up quickly, perhaps. Oh, did you know about that, Jen?
Oh yeah, Deb Dana does some great stuff. I got.
That's
some of her stuff.
awesome.
I love it. Oh, well, of course.
You. Of course she knows about this.
Our flip charts and all.
She probably has it. The rest of us are like, ooh, cards.
Exactly.
Jen's all in the vagal nerve, and we're like, oh, cards.
Right.
You're combining our things, Maruda. It's getting us all excited.
You guys are hilarious.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, and it's interesting too, like even the, we were talking about like the sugar cravings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we look at cravings, even and where cravings come from, whether we do it from like a physiological perspective or a human design perspective or spiritual perspective, right? It's really about, can I be present in this moment and know what's actually happening in my body that's causing this, right?
And that takes some work. Yes, purchase responsibly, know your limits. I would actually show those cards, but everybody would see them backwards. So
yeah.
Oh, here.
Oh, and we have someone here as well. What's up? G'day. How's it going on Twitch? Thank you for joining us, Twitch. Yeah. So we are coming to the end of our hour. It always goes so fast.
Oh,
I know.
Time just flies.
We have a couple minutes, so we have one more comment here. So I crave sugar in the mornings. Mm-hmm. Is there a vagal nerve response to that, Jen?
There's actually different pressure points you can do for cravings. I don't know all of them offhand. I'd have to pull them all out. But you can look them up online for sure too, and do that. So when I was talking about the human design stuff too, it's depending on what your authority is and what your type is. That also can kind of determine if that's because you actually need it, or if it's an emotional response to food, or if it's like there's so many different kind of intricacies there. But like an example, I'm a splenic, right? So in the moment that I actually need to eat something, I kind of know what I want to eat. But if I'm around other people, because I'm open in a lot of centers, I can be very influenced.
Right.
And I can often be like, oh yeah, I want that. And I will start to eat it and be like, I don't want this. This isn't what I want. Right. And I have to really go back and be like, okay, no, what was it I actually wanted? Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to eat.
What is it for mine? Because mine
emotional.
Is yeah.
Right. It's really about waiting. Right. So you get that moment of, oh, you're hungry. Okay. Let's give it 5-10 minutes. Let's have a drink of water. Let's see if I'm actually hungry. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, yeah, I am actually hungry. All right. What do I want to eat?
Sure.
Right. And then you think of a couple things and you go, okay, I'm going to sit with that. Right. And then maybe an hour later, you're starting to prepare whatever it is that feels correct for you. But you've given yourself that time. And that's really important. Right.
Yes.
But then the rest of my design is do this and then do that. And then do this, and then do that. So by the time I decide what I want to eat, I need to do something else.
Well, and it goes back also to that idea of staying in the moment as much as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For sure.
Stuff is really very important.
Yeah. And Marita, I've read that too about the whole craving sugar and eating more protein. And I actually remember years ago reading something about eating sugar with protein.
Yes.
And the way that counteracts within the body. Now, I am not a nutritionalist, so I don't know what the science is behind all of that, but I do remember reading about it. So there might be something, to that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not an expert about that, but I think that when you have protein with sugar, it helps your body to metabolize the sugar more effectively so that it doesn't spike the blood sugar as much. So,
Yeah.
Very true.
But
Mhm.
if you are craving sugar, experiment with it, right?
Experiment with it and pay attention to what happens, not just as you're eating it, but an hour afterwards, the next
yes.
Exactly.
morning.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Exactly.
stuff takes work. And by the way, if you want to honor the health of the shrine of your body, it's worth spending 15 minutes a day thinking about this stuff, noting
Mhm.
it. And, oh,
Hmm.
that makes sense. Or I hadn't realized. Or why do I feel like this? Oh, it's because I ate an entire sheet pan of brownies.
Yep.
I did not do that.
But again, like that whole taking the time, right? And really treating the body with respect. It's
Yeah.
what we're in while we're here this time round, right?
True.
And so we want to honor it and we want to be grateful for it, right?
Mhm.
You pour gratitude into things and it brings it back tenfold,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so taking that time that Gerald's talking about, and when I say experiment with it, all right, I had a little bit of sugar. You know what? I was tired by 10 o'clock and I couldn't move. All right. Next day I wake up, I crave sugar. I'm going to try a little bit of protein. Oh, what does that do for me? Right.
Yeah.
And see what it does and pay attention to it. And,
Hmm. So this one's from Sylvia, and she actually has some knowledge in this area. She is a professional. She's a dentist, and she has I'm sure I'm going to get this wrong, but it is a natural medicine add-on to that. So this is that's hers, and this is from her as well. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds yummy. Maybe you could try doing it with the honey instead, Estella. Like what Sylvia was saying. Maybe that would help. Oh, there we go. Integrative medicine doctor. There she is.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sylvia's thing. So she knows what
That's incredible.
she knows what she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we have Maruta saying, we maintain our car. Why not our personal vehicle? It's true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And I have done this. The withdrawal symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever quit coffee?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, and withdraw from sugar. Holy moly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Definitely. Well, that has been a wonderful wealth of knowledge coming through today, all about health. Health, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So we can all maybe pay a little bit more attention to our shrine.
That's so good.
Or our meat suit. Sorry, I had to. As we don our crowns, please send pics and we'll share them next time the three of us are on. If Gerald will honor us and be a guest again, we are so pleased that he was here with us today.
I'm glad to be here. If everybody likes and subscribes, they can, let Tanis and Jennifer know that you want me back.
We want him back. So if you guys do too, that's awesome.
Come back. Totally want to come back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Gerald. It's always such a pleasure having you on. We just love you, and it's great. Oh. Thank you.
It's the
That's
crowns,
awesome.
but not really. We'll do this. We can do this without the crowns.
Oh, Maruta wants you back. She says definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then this is part of your tribe, obviously. That looks like many hugs for Gerald.
Yes.
Honor this monarchy.
Here we are. Honor this monarchy. Thank you. Shall we do the queen wave?
Oh, I'll do it with my tiny hands.
There we go.
Oh yeah. That takes off.
That's perfect. Wishing you all a wonderful week. Come back again next Monday. We have actually other stuff happening this week as well. We have our show with Michelle this Wednesday. Michelle and I will be on doing readings at 7:00 Eastern. And I'm also going to be doing open mic with Ramsey Cheedy. He's another teacher with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. We're doing that on Friday at 7. So please give us a look and a listen. And I'm missing something. We have workshops coming up. Lots of great workshops coming up. Like and subscribe to all of these under here, on there.
Yep.
Yes.
And Tanis has a membership page.
Yes, this is true. We have
And
Twillow Lifestyle.
and it's pretty awesome because Tanis is being honored. I don't know if you guys all know this.
Thank you.
Tanis is actually being honored Businesswoman of the Year.
No. I was just nominated.
Nominated.
Yeah,
Nominated.
She's foreseeing the future.
Okay, she's already Businesswoman of the Year for me. So
I've been nominated.
for Businesswoman of the Year.
Yes.
And the business that she's, doing is this Twillow, and part of that is this membership site and all of these classes and everything else. So they're definitely worth checking out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I also want to mention that we have another teacher as well. All of the teachers that work with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy, we all have our own businesses as well. And so you may have seen Jacqueline Richards on our stuff. She's one of our yoga teachers. She teaches yoga for your personal finances. She was also nominated for Businesswoman of the Year. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. If we have a cocktail party this week on Thursday that will, next week, that we'll find out if we're finalists or not. So it's a lot of fun. I was nominated last year and was a finalist last year. So I was top 3 in my category, and super honored to be nominated again. So
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much for all of your support. I couldn't do this without all of you. And I just am totally honored to be on this road with all of you. And let's just make it a great week.
Absolutely.
Make it a wonderful week. I'm sending you all tons of love and light. Thank you so much for all the congratulations. And we'll keep you posted. So have an awesome week, everyone. And check out the website for all the cool stuff coming up. Mm-hmm. And we shall see you very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. Lots of love, everyone.
Bye.